You are in business, and a lot of actions are necessary for your business to be successful. But nothing is more important to your success than the simple act of ringing up a sale. For that reason, we want ringing up sales to be both accurate and quick. So unlike the days of the cash register, when every item had to be picked up, the price tag viewed, and the price entered into the cash register, there are a variety of ways to ring up a sale that are both fast and accurate. Let's look at the 4 methods afforded by Passport: speed keys, scanning, manual entry of the universal price code, and open department keys. Now, we discuss speed keys in 2 separate chapters of this DVD, so the only thing we will say about speed keys here is that they are a very good way to handle items that are top sellers, that are bulky or heavy, that are stored outside of the store, that are messy, items that do not have a price code or label, and items such as cigarettes or beer that require the entry of a birthday for age verification. Speed keys provide a rapid way to ring up items that might otherwise slow things down. They are an ideal solution for these special items. But the very nature of speed keys makes them inappropriate for other items, so there are needs for alternate methods of ringing up sales. Let's take a look at each. Scanning is a very good technique for the vast majority of items in your store. While there can be scanning errors, scanning is an increasingly accurate method. Contemporary scanners are accurate to plus or minus 0.04%. But the thing to keep in mind if you are the retailer is the key aspect of accuracy is ensuring that the correct pair of barcodes and unit prices are entered into the system. This may occur in your back office system, or if you do not use a back office, it may occur when you enter the item into Passport. Also, Passport allows you to create price categories, which can help avoid oversights when prices have to be adjusted. Still, a quick review of these categories can help you when prices are adjusted. Scanning is probably the easiest technique to train new cashiers. This makes scanning a very attractive method for ringing up sales. The shortfalls for scanning include its dependence upon a readable barcode label. Such labels are not always practical to apply on such items as fruit or firewood. Sometimes the barcodes are on shrink wrap or cardboard and may no longer be scannable. In those cases, the cashier may have to use a third method of ringing up a sale: entering the UPC. In this method, the cashier, instead of scanning, reads the code from the label and manually enters the number into the Passport. Although this is a bit slower than scanning, it allows the Passport to gather the same detailed sales information as you could achieve from speed keys or from scanning. It is probably a good practice to have the cashiers keep track of the items that are rung up in this way, and to attempt to get them into a position where they could be rung up as either a speed key or with a scanner. In many cases, the cashier will be entering barcode not found, which will generate a UPC unknown or not on file report. This will have the cashier complete a report that will be printed on the receipt printer. He will describe the items sold, place the receipt in the till, and give it to the manager later, where the manager can use it to go back and determine what item may not have been on file or what may have been unreadable. In cases where the item lacks an identity, either within the system or for lack of a barcode, the cashier can still ring up a sale. The cashier can choose the most appropriate department key and enter in a purchase price. In this fashion, the sale is credited to the most appropriate department, but of course, detailed sales information is lost and the receipt lacks detail as well. Now, on one hand, you very much want to keep the register ringing, and department keys can help you do this. However, the use of department keys should be considered as a last resort. These sales fail to provide the kinds of data that make Passport so usable and helpful to managers. Managers should consider the excessive use of these department keys as an indication that parts of their operation may need tightened up. Why is this true? Well, the ability of Passport to provide maximum added value to the manager is dependent upon detail. Let's look briefly at a few reports to understand why detail is important. A manager may want to identify the best sellers over a given weekend. If some of the items have been sold without identification, they are not visible on this report. If an item has a long-standing price that is known to the cashiers, and that price has been changed recently, it may be sold for less than intended, and you might never know. Similarly, items available for discount may not be properly discounted. Let's just say that Passport allows you to expeditiously ring up sales that keep the store running. There are 4 options, and managers should be consciously involved in deciding which items are best run up in which manner. Catching detail is an important help to the manager in making the store profitable. How do I set up departments? First, understand the difference between departments and department keys. You must have departments set up. Passport does not require department keys. To set up department keys, begin at the main Manager Workstation window, the one with Gilbert's picture, and follow this path. Set up, Register, Department Key Maintenance. This takes you to a Department Key Maintenance window. On the left window is a list of the departments. On the right is a key to add. When you press the Add key, you will be shown the text entry boxes to define the department. You may number and name the departments as you please. You may select a tax group based on the groups you have already set up in the Tax tab of the Manager Workstation. You may also select a restriction group, again pulling from the menu that reflects the choices you have already made. You may elect to apply food stamps and discounts to apply to all the selected items in any given department. Another possible dimension is a negative department, which exists for the purpose of accounting for money drawn from the till to pay vendors, provide refunds, or allow lotto payouts. If a network is in place, the network code can be entered into the appropriate box. There are also options to allow the department to appear as a POS coupon key and to be printed on the till close report as such. When these are designated to appear on the POS touchscreen, the cashier can toggle back and forth from speed keys to department keys. Check your work carefully, and when you are complete, click Save. When it comes to the essential activity of ringing up sales, Passport provides options and no one size fits all. We just want you to be aware of how you're ringing up sales and to make sure you train your cashiers to use the right method at the right time. So in review, let's look at the 4 methods of payment. Speed keys. Speed keys are fast and accurate. They are great for items that are heavy or messy or have no barcode. However, you should avoid having too many speed keys, since that may prove to be counterproductive, with cashiers paging through several screens to find just the right key. Scanning. Scanning is the default for most items in most stores. Scanning is fast and accurate, and it captures details. It is limited mostly by those items, from apples to propane tanks, that resist barcodes or are difficult to handle. Manual entry of a UPC. There will always be a few items that won't scan and are not sold on speed keys. If you have the UPC, you can enter it and capture the detail. Not quite as fast, but a good technique nevertheless. Be careful, since the long UPC number can easily be entered incorrectly. Finally, we have open department keys. These provide flexibility when the store is stuck. It allows you to keep the line moving. When nothing else fits, use department keys.